stadium where this crowd has been in since early in the day, saying, you know it, you tell the story, you tell the whole world that this is Bear territory. And boy, do we have a fun one ahead. Top 10 team, target on their back, going on their road and right into the snake pit. As we'll see the number 8 team in the country, the USC Trojans, facing off with another team from the Pac-12, the California Golden Bears. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, and Jesse Palmer with me. Guys, it's time to get it going. And the Golden Bears will get us started with the opening kickoff. Bringing it back. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. The Trojans offense will start this game off. And here he comes. This offense is built completely around the talents of this running back, a rare commodity in today's game, and all eyes are on him.
And the defense knows it too. You know every single snap, this defense is going to be keying on this running back, knowing that he is the key to the offense's success.
He kept those legs moving, got 3 out to the 19. Really important for a ranked team going into a hostile environment like this one, not to give the underdog reason to believe.
Yes, reason to believe, and don't give the fans reason to get jacked up and excited. Come out early, be in a business mode mindset.
You got to start fast. You got to have a sense of urgency. You cannot come sleepwalking.
He's off to the races. Huge plays like that can change the complexion of a game, and he's got it at the 22-yard line.
I know it's early in the game, but defensively after that play, you know you have to tackle the catch. When this guy gets the ball in his hands, he is so dangerous after the fact. So it's okay for him to make catches. You just got to get him to the ground quickly.
They'll throw it on first down. Finds his target down the middle. They get him down after he makes the catch.
A nice job by the defense there tackling the catch and smothering the tight end. They know this offense is going to try to find him in the passing game in a lot of different situations. That time, perfect coverage, and nice job bringing the big guy down. Not easy to do.
Wrestled to the ground after picking up the first down.
I'm amazed by this offense. This is how you set the tone for a game. Running, throwing on the opening drive, driving it right down the field. You've just run to set yourself up now in 1st and goal. They are feeling it.
And the Trojans will try to punch it in on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. Pushes ahead for 2 to the 7-yard line.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. He's looking to throw. Unleashes to the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Trojans. They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point makes it 7-0. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And they closed the deal with the 7-yarder for the score. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. That ball skips through the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 25-yard line. So the Cal Golden Bears offense will take the field for the first time. Here are our impact players for this game, and it goes beyond executing an assignment to make an impact in the game.
Yeah, obviously we were talking to both coaching staffs this week, and we asked them who needs to step up and play well. They immediately pointed to these guys right here. They are the key for their respective teams.
Yeah, and they don't always show up in the box score, but these are the guys that are the leaders. These are the guys getting everybody organized and have to play well for their team to succeed.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on 1st down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
Not a lot of daylight. He gets 1 to the 32.
Oh, man, there's some big hitting going on in the trenches right now. This defense, they take a lot of pride in stopping the run. Let's keep our eye on them throughout the course of the game and see if they can contain this running attack.
They'll try to get the first through the air. A strike downfield. And the big gain, and they've got it on the 46.
That's really got to make this offensive coordinator feel good calling plays. You get a complete completion on third down early in the game, and he should be having a lot of confidence now moving forward in this game calling plays.
Defense trying to keep this offense from getting a line on who to block. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
And that play shows you really what this defense is about. It's a difficult one to attack. They're really good. One of the best in the country. They come at you from all angles. So I'm interested to watch. How do you mix up the play calling? How do you keep the defense off balance? Because they are a good one.
And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
I don't think the quarterback made the right read on that play. I know they're asking a lot of his QBs, got a lot to focus on with the pass game and all the different types of runs that they have in their playbook. But on that play there, that pre-snap look told me to hand it off.
Caught near the sideline, it's Hoffman.
You got to love that. On defense, one of the most critical statistics out there is how do you play on third down? How do you prevent the opponent from keeping drives alive? Right there, tackling the catch. You gave up the completion. Whoop-de-doo. You set up 4th and long. You're going to get the ball back. Go get some water and celebrate.
This Trojan offense is ready to go back to work. Boy, David, they would love to stack another touchdown on top of that last drive.
And this offense did such a good job on the last drive. Everything in rhythm, moved the ball down the field, didn't make those mistakes, Jesse, and they need to do it again on this one.
Yeah, you're right. They had the defense on their heels. You wonder what sort of communication was going on that sideline. What sort of changes were they able to make, because they got to stop the bleeding right now.
Looking to go up top on first down. He finds his man. There to make the tackle, but the big throw is good enough to give them a first down. Doesn't SC always seem to have a quarterback right out of central casting and one that'll pick up a first down for you with his arm?
Yeah, and it doesn't matter the year. It just doesn't matter the number. It continues to churn out. They find those guys. Just such an easy place to recruit. When you got that kind of pedigree, you always find superstars at the quarterback spot.
He's all the way down to the 27-yard line, and they are threatening.
This offense has become a first down machine, and that is so demoralizing for the defense, especially for those star players that are playing tons of snaps. They're not subbing out as much. By the fourth quarter, they're going to be gassed.
Tough run in this part of the field. He's got 4 down to the 23.
Small gain, I know, but again, the defense knows he's going to run the football. He's willing to run the football, not just drop back and pass, make him honor the run game. You've got to do a lot of this.
Right back to the well. Hey, get him on the ground after he gets enough to move the sticks. As we head to the quarter break, it is USC holding the lead. We've played one. Before we move on, let's have a look at the stats. They've switched into the field, and we're ready to get things started here in the second. They'll start the drive here with first down to open this period. Leaves it with the back. We'll give him a couple on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up. Going to work in the red zone. They can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. They'll leave it with him. He's all the way down to the 3. Showed it all on that run.
This running back loves running into the teeth of the defense. In between the tackles, he keeps a low pad level, and he's got some speed.
The Trojans have it in scoring position on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Southern Cal. Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. Precision blocking up front. Created the open lane, and the running back followed it beautifully.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to follow an offensive line that makes those holes and just gives you a caravan all the way to the end zone. What an unbelievable job blocking up front.
He thought about bringing that out for a half second, but he'll take a knee and they'll bring it to the 25. The Cal offense is headed back onto the field. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game, so Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, Dave.
Hit the afterburners, kid. And they are pushing the ball down the field. A big pickup on that one, and the tackle is finally made.
And this defense is going to have their hands full because they're going to need to be comfortable with guys one-on-one on islands in the perimeter of the field. And they're just going to have to make better plays than what we saw right there. They knew this offense was going to try to be aggressive. Got to need better effort in the back end for this defense.
The Golden Bears are in the hurry-up. Secondary walks up on the line, showing press coverage. They make the stop after a pickup of 3. Ball's at the 18. Got 3 on first down and 2nd and 7. He's looking to throw. Here comes the rush, and they've got it wrapped up at the 28.
Well, this is a quarterback who's not known for his running ability, obviously. We've seen him make some great throws, but mobility, that's probably not on your bingo card, and you saw it right there. He gets brought down for the sack.
A little less room to work with now as the ball's at the 28, and it's 3rd and long. Looking for the end zone. And they wanted it all on 3rd down, but now dealing with 4th down. They'll try to cap off this drive with a field goal. This one will be a 45-yard attempt, and he'll kick it from the left side. Splits the uprights right down the middle. So after the last drive ended with a field goal, the kickoff team out there to send it away. On the run from inside his own 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. And guys, USC has the ball back and sending the offense onto the field. And David, how they would love to stick it in the end zone one more time after that last drive.
And once you get the defense on their heels and you back them off a little bit, you get in a little bit of rhythm, it's really hard to stop, Jesse, and they're going to try to do it again right here.
And if you're this play caller, you're loving what's happening right now because everything you dialed up on that last drive ended up working out. You're just looking at your play sheet. Everything you're picking is working. Let's see if they can pull it off again here.
It's so difficult when you're running a pass play, but really it becomes a run because he can do that. The quarterback can scramble around. Receivers are running down the field. I got to cover him and run down the field. Now I got to come try to catch this guy who's flying downhill so fast. The angles don't work. He's too athletic. That's why you get a big game.
A shot toward the end zone. And it was worth going for a chunk play, but the long pass is it. Now we'll hang on here. The coach has called a timeout. He wants the officials to take another look. Thinks he's got a good shot at getting this one overturned. He spun that wheel of fortune by challenging the call, and it does not go his way, and he loses the timeout. They'll go back to work after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 36. The receivers often will run their route based on a side adjustment. Misfired on first down, back to the air on 2nd. Snagged in the middle. It's Lindsey. Ripping off a good chunk inside the 25, and they're set up with a first down.
It is so good for an offense early in the game to get in a rhythm and to start stringing first downs together. It makes the game really easy and puts that defense in a situation where they're starting to get tired. They want to sub. They want to get other guys in the field. Stringing first downs together like this makes it hard to defend.
He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
How about the defender being a heat-seeking missile? He was on radar lock. He found the football and flew down with some bad intentions.
They go to the draw. Tripped up for the tackle.
Well, the defense may have been caught off guard a little bit on that play. It was 2nd and long. They weren't expecting the run. So now we've got 3rd and manageable, and they've got to be wondering to themselves, is this offense going to try to run the ball again here?
They turn to the passing game on 3rd and short. He looks that one in nicely. Finally pulled down, but not before. Moving the chains for a first down.
It's tough on the defense there. 3rd down, you're in zone coverage. Everybody's watching the quarterback, and you're trying to make a break on the ball, but He just got it out of his hands too quickly, and the throw was too accurate. Really nothing you can do there, and it's now a fresh set of downs.
He works his way all the way down to the 3, and the defense is reeling.
And it's not a surprise who they gave the football to. When you get down in this area, they're going to call his name. The physical back, they're going to give him the football. They're going to use their identity of physicality and run game down here in the red zone.
He's got it down to the 1-yard line right on the doorstep of pay dirt. Tight quarters deep in the red zone, but they can pick up a first down without scoring. 3rd down. They'll try to move the chains on the ground. They were all over him. Nowhere to go as that 3rd down play turned into a disaster.
You've got to think there's 11 guys on defense right now keying in on this running back. They've watched the tape. They've seen this guy gash defenses. He's scored a boatload of touchdowns this season. You're anticipating him getting the football here.
And the Trojans will try to move the sticks on 4th down. They'll try it on the ground. He'll be stopped just short of the end zone, but they'll have it 1st and goal. Man, what a career with that carry. He's now over 4,000 yards.
And he's made this coaching staff look really smart, David, throughout his career, hasn't he? Defenses week in, week out, they load the box. They try to stop this guy. They're never able to get it.
And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, USC. They want to finish the season strong, and man, are they doing that here in this Week 11 performance. And with the extra point, they're on top by 18.
You know, this offense knew coming into the season it was so important for this guy to stay healthy. They needed him week in, week out because he plays at such a high level, and he's showing it here. That last carry was his 10th rushing touchdown of the season.
Cal gets it back. The sturdy Golden Bear offense on its way to the field. Boy, they've been caught in a buzzsaw here in the first half, but maybe a chance to carry some momentum into the break here.
It all comes down to this drive right here, Reese. Obviously, this offense hasn't had everything go right for them in the first half, but here's an opportunity, David, to...
Gonna take a shot. Makes the catch on the left. Nothing but green ahead. And he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Golden Bears! That touchdown grabbed the 25th of his career.
Not surprising either. You've got this guy's ability at that position. Quarterbacks are going to be looking for you. 25 touchdown catches, that's an impressive figure.
Yeah, he's definitely one of those guys that have been so big time. Big time moments, clutch plays, makes those contested catches. He's a guy that can do everything, and that's why he's putting up such great stats.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. And the returner could find no daylight. He goes down. This Trojan offense is ready to go back to work. There wasn't much need to throw it around on that last drive for the touchdown, Jesse. They got it done running the ball.
And David, I don't think you have to overthink this thing. If they can't stop you running it, why would you stop handing it off? Just keep at it here on this drive.
Well, and if I'm the defense, I'm making some changes. I'm bringing in more big bodies. I'm playing more aggressive towards the line of scrimmage. I am not going to let them have that kind of drive again.
You know, sometimes when you're throwing against zone coverage, you need time for the routes to develop. So nice job by the quarterback there, being patient, allowing his receivers to work themselves open.
Coming after him. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance. Maybe a little frustrated after that last incompletion. It's 2nd and 10 from the 38. The give to the back. He stopped at the 48, a pickup of 10 on the play. The Trojans come to the line in the hurry-up. He'll come out throwing on 1st down. Unloads to the wideout. Off the deflection, missed a great chance to force the turnover. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
And sometimes you see great shooters, and they get on fire, and they just can't miss. And that's what this QB looks like the last couple weeks, man. Just completion percentage through the roof, running the offense at an elite level. You can tell in complete control of this offense.
Complete to the left. chopping up this defense, and they've got it all the way down to the 23.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
Timeout called by the offense, and now they just have one remaining in the half. And the Trojans have it with a 1st and 10. Quarterback checking off. They'll throw it on 1st down. Just gets rid of it to the running back underneath. He's there to make the stop, but the damage has been done as they pick up the 1st down on the throw and catch. He wants to throw. They're trying to get to him. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
Well, this defense felt coming into the game that if he was going to try to throw from the pocket, they could get to him and affect his accuracy, and they did on that last play.
Wide receiver now comes in motion. Touch pass on the run. And he's able to find a little bit of running room before they get him down. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Just enough time for one final play in this half. They're going to go to the air on 3rd and short. He is brought down and sacked. That is not the offense's ideal way to finish up the half, but we'll head to the locker room. That's going to wrap up the 1st half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
All right, guys, a delightful first 2 quarters today from there in Berkeley. And we've got to start our halftime breakdown with this superstar running back. His elusiveness, his raw power. This young man is the total package. And his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield is a differentiator. A lot of guys can hit the hole. This kid can hit the hole and hit the home run in the passing game. And with that, let's send it back to the fellas inside California Memorial Stadium.
The Trojans will boot it away to start the 2nd half. Just into the end zone, and he'll bring it out. That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line. The Cal offense is headed back onto the field. They got a lot done through the air in the 1st half, and they might need even more production here in the 2nd.
I think they will, Reese, and I think this is an offense that has proven they're playing with good timing right now. They've got some matchups where they're winning one-on-one, and they're just going to have to keep going back to the well, David, relying on hitting some explosive plays to win this game.
Yeah, and I think we look at numbers naturally, and they're losing. So that's the most important thing on the scoreboard, but they have had success. And so what do? You keep playing pitch and catch. You got to score, but you got to talk to your defense. I need some stops. I need the football back quickly so we can do some more damage.
And the Golden Bears want to pick up the tempo. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. He's looking to throw. Nice defensive play to get a hand in there and knock it away.
Yeah, and a really good job by the defender, understanding the ball's coming. I got to break on it and go, and not try to intercept it and make a bad play. He swats it down and makes sure that's an incompletion.
Pressure coming. Feeling some heat. He's got it. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on 3rd down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his progression.
Really nice pickup on that one as they get it to the 36. It'll be 1st down. Corners right up on that line of scrimmage. They're getting this guy lathered up. Nifty little dance step.
See, they need more runs like that. It's been so few and far between. Defensively, they've been in position. They've been winning their one-on-one battles, getting off of blocks and rallying to the ball carrier. This defense has done a nice job slowing down the run game thus far.
He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. And this offense can ill afford to come up empty on this drive, already trailing by multiple possessions. On third down, going up top. Going to try to get it himself. And excellent vision to find running room there and make a really good pickup before the defense put a stop to it.
This is why everybody grows up and wants to be an offensive coordinator and not a defensive coordinator, because he can do that. He drops back. He's supposed to pass, but you know what? I'll just scramble around, and I'll just go get plenty of yards and pick him up and put him down.
And the defense, they've got him at the 27.
Oftentimes with play action, you're asking the quarterback to hold on to the ball a bit longer, and you're asking this offensive line to hold up and pass pro a bit longer. Against this athletic front seven on defense, it's going to be tough.
Unleashes one deep. And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on. They've methodically worked the ball down the field. 11th play of the drive coming up, but this one third and long. Getting some heat. And he's all bottled up, and now it's worse. The ball's loose. Oh, the fumble, and the defense got it. Touchdown, Trojans. The defense with the scoop and score.
USC.
And the defense comes with the blitz. Nice job getting to the quarterback. And don't just get there. Try to strip that football out. They get the QB to the ground. The ball's out. They scoop it up and take it all the way back to the house for 6.
28. Cal 10.
The returner will field it and try to get some field position. And they'll bring it down to get the offense started on the next drive. Okay, so here comes the offense returning to the field. First snap of this drive will come from inside the 15 at their own 14-yard line. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. Not much there. They'll give him one to the 14. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Leaves it with the running back. Not a lot of room there. Give him a couple to the 16.
Tackle is made.
A third and long coming up here.
Brings up third down.
From the gun, wants to pass. He's got his man. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop. The Golden Bears send out the punt unit. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. He only needs a sliver of daylight. He was working his way on the return toward midfield. They'll stop him at the 46. And guys, USC has the ball back and sending the offense onto the field. Line gets set, first down. Quarterback making adjustments with his receivers. Looking to move it through the air. Excellent coverage and good use of the hands to knock it away.
Tips, deflections, those are such good things for defense. A lot of times they lead to interceptions and big plays. Just try to get any kind of disruption you can.
It'll be a draw.
With the carry, it's the running back. Taken down at the 49.
Third down conversions are a huge stat, and this one would be a doozy if they can pull it off. From the gun, wants to pass. Throws to the wideout. Got him downfield. Got a lot of running room. Touchdown, Trojans. And the punishment has been extended.
USC.
When these offenses get in a rhythm, they're hard to stop. Already up early, got a short field, take advantage of it too, get another touchdown. This offense is doing whatever they want to do and having a lot of success.
Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
All right, guys, want to update you on a game that went final moments ago. Troy went on the road and silenced one of the most vocal crowds in football. And it's clear this Trojans team has adopted the mantra, let your play do the talking. A lot to go through in the film session this week for both teams. But, boy, it sure is going to be easier for the side that came away with the win.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. They'll line up for a second down play. They'll try the run. And maybe they want to try somewhere else because there is nothing doing in the middle of this defense.
Great job at contained by this defense. And in order to do that, the end man on the line of scrimmage defensively has got to be able to set the point and force the football back into traffic. And that's exactly what happened there.
Finds his back in the middle. And they'll spot it at the 45. That's good enough for a first down. And the Golden Bears come to the line with a new set of downs. From the gun, running back on the move. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
This has got to be disappointing if you're the offense, guys. You were expecting to have a lot of success running the ball, especially against this defense, which has struggled so much this season, but just nothing doing. They have not been good enough in the trenches so far.
One more period to go, and we'll see just how much fight they've got left in them. Second down here as they go back to work after the break. He's looking to throw. That pressure got to him, and he just had to chuck it out of bounds.
Brings up third down.
A chance to sort of put the defense on its heels if you convert a third and long. This one from the 44. From the gun, wants to pass. He lobs one high down the left side. Oh, what a grab by the defense. Looking for more room. At the 30. And they capitalize not only on the pick, but on the great return to improve this field position.
This is a beautiful situation for the defense. When you're up by 2+ scores and you're in this situation, you know exactly what is coming. It's going to be a pass. They have to because the clock is their enemy. Great job playing pass, forcing the interception, almost putting the nail in the coffin.
This Trojan offense is ready to go back to work. They had this thing in a hammerlock at halftime, and now they are really ratcheting up. Touchdown, Southern Cal! And the stomping has commenced.
USC.
They add on another score, and now that record so close to going to 8-1 on the season.
Man, this has been a complete performance. The defense has been lights out, and the offense, obviously, just continues to pour it on. This is what you call having a great day. Putting it all together, offense, defense, complementary football.
And they desperately wanted to attempt a return, but decided not to. Instead, they'll take the touchback. Cal gets it back. The sturdy Golden Bear offense on its way to the field. Mistakes are going to happen, as they did on that last drive. Now, how will they respond, Jesse?
And this is the kind of guy who's going to take full accountability. That was my bad. That's on me. I'm about to lead this offense now down the field to score some points.
Dang, Palmer, I wish I'd have played with you. I didn't play with many quarterbacks that was just like, yeah, my bad. Hey, guys, I got this. Sorry about that. It was more, you should have ran a better route.
He's looking for an open man on second down. He's got him in the flat. And there's going to be a loss on that play. Just run out of bounds and avoiding the contact. Now facing a third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. They're bringing heat. The little soft flip pass falls incomplete.
And the quarterback gets hit again. We already know this defense has gotten home to him multiple times in this game. So here you are, you're trailing in the game. Defense knows you're going to throw it. They're pinning their ears back. You can't.
And that pass picked off. Bringing it back. Oh, the pirouette gets him loose. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
And that's a really good job by the defense. Understanding the situation of football. It's fourth down. It's late in the game. You got a multi-possession lead. Take away all the deep stuff. Make them force the football into coverage. They do, and they stamp this game.
Running back searching for a hole. Not much working there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Kept it on the ground on 1st down. Now back to the line. The give to the right. Just a 1-yard gain leaves him with 3rd and 9.
Gain of 1. 3rd down coming.
They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete and 4th down's coming. And they'll send out the field goal unit. And this one is anything but routine. A 48-yard attempt from the right hash. Right down the boulevard, it's good. And that'll add 3 more to a lead that is already way out of hand.
You've got to make the opponent pay for turning the football over. And while this team would have liked to have scored a touchdown off that pick, I think they're pretty happy getting the field goal.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Cal offense is headed back onto the field. After throwing the pick on the last drive, need to take care of the ball this time, Jesse.
We're going to find out a lot about this quarterback right here, too. How does he fight through adversity after that last drive?
Yeah, clear the mechanism, move on. That's a part of it, right? If you're going to be a great player, you got to learn how to handle these mistakes and move on.
On 2nd down, he's looking downfield. Makes a grab over the middle. A quick tackle made, but he's got plenty for the 1st down. A new set of downs after the completion. Wants to throw on 1st down. Trying to get to it. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
We've seen throughout the course of the season, defenses have had their hands full with this quarterback. He's simply one of the best in the country. But what can you say about this defense here today? They have gotten after him, registering multiple sacks, and they've never let him get into a rhythm.
After the big 1st down sack, it's 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Unloads it left. He misses his man. The accuracy just not what it needed to be on that play.
And that's just the kind of game it's been for this quarterback in this offense. You got a great game plan all week long. You're watching it throughout practice. You think you're going to have a chance to light up the scoreboard, but they're just not able to hook up. You got to give this defense a ton.
Fires into traffic, picked off. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
USC.
The number one objective for a defense is to make the offense one-dimensional. Well, when they're trailing by this much late in the game, they're one-dimensional. They have to pass the football. We can bring more speed on the field. You see it. We know you're throwing the football. Nice break on the football. Nice interception. This one's almost over.
They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Nice job by this defense. Listen, you got to understand, they're going to run the football. They're going to try to milk the clock, Jesse. They got the huge lead.
Haven't been a lot of good plays for this defense in this game so far, so can they build on that one? Can they create some turnovers here in the second half to get back in this game?
And a good, solid pickup before the defense cuts him down.
It's 3rd down.
They line up, and it is a long way to the sticks from here. Quarterback changing the plays at the line. On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up. And now on 4th down, they'll try a field goal. This is going to have to be unleashed from 54 yards out. It's good. He could have hit a string right in the middle of the uprights there. And they just tack on a little more to this gargantuan lead. They're really starting to extend that lead as they get ready to kick it away again. And And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Cal gets it back. The sturdy Golden Bear offense on its way to the field. One of the most valuable things a quarterback can have, David, short-term memory. Just forget that last pick.
You're dang right. Clear the mechanism. It's over, moving behind. Some players can't do that real well, and it leads to more mistakes, Jesse. You got to just forget about it and move on.
And I think the coaching staff can help him too, David. I think you can get the running game going here and also give him some easy throws.
After the incompletion, back to the passing game. He's got it on the left. Huge plays like that can change the complexion of a game, and he's got it at the 22-yard line.
That's a beautiful pass and catch. I love the job the quarterback does manipulating the defense with his eyes. He froze that safety, and that allowed his receiver more room to work his route.
We've reached the 2-minute warning, and we see miracles in college football all of the time, and they could use one here. Finally, some signs of life from this offense, which has done nothing in the second half. It's 1st and 10. Makes the catch. The stop is made, but this offense is threatening. 1st and goal from the 9. Defense is backed up. Shadow of the goalpost, trying to defend their own end zone. Looking to throw. They get him on the ground at the 3-yard line, but this defense is taking some punches.
Man, I love the decision-making right there. Like, drop back to pass, look for your shots. You don't see it, tuck it, get positive yards, makes the next down even easier. That is a great heads-up early.
And he takes it in the end zone for a touchdown. A little window dressing here at the end of the game.
And a nice touchdown. Continue to fight, continue to play. This one, it's pretty much over. Down multiple possessions this late in the football game. It would take a miracle, but nice job by this offense. Continue to fight, push the ball down the field, make plays.
From inside the 10-yard line, he'll bring it back. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19s. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. And guys, USC has the ball back and sending the offense onto the field. And now one of the most satisfying moments in football, just watching that clock drain away while you have control of the ball, Jesse.
And this is definitely one of the best play callers, right?
Can anyone catch him? He's inside the 40. He's at the 20. Touchdown, USC! And the pummeling has started. They give themselves a little more cushion as they try to reel off their 4th straight win.
Man, this guy is such a weapon because he's so dangerous if he gets into the second level. Great vision, and then David shows you the speed.
Just straight wheels, erasing angles. A lot of times when you're chasing guys that are so fast like this, you're like, I got him. No, I do not. What a big, long touchdown run. Pad those stats, young fella.
And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. The Cal offense is headed back onto the field. This has been an old-fashioned fanny paddling, David. I mean, they've just got taken behind the woodshed.
There's nothing to say. This has been an absolute beatdown. Dominated from the start.
And the pressure gets to him. Down goes the quarterback.
The defense puts the exclamation point on the day. They have had a wonderful day, man. Doing everything great. Just, you could tell they were dialed into what was going on, and now just throw another sack in the equation, hitting the quarterback, being disruptive. They've been all over the field.
Running toward the tape. Past the 10. And he'll take it in for the touchdown. It won't have much impact on the outcome of the game, but it is a fabulous parting gift, a consolation prize, if you will.
Good for them. They put together a drive. They got a touchdown. It's been a bad day. I mean, this is a day they're going to want to forget. They're getting destroyed, but at least you get some positive vibes. Maybe finish this game on a little bit of a high note. A little bit.
Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. And the coverage team gets the returner on the ground. Their work here is virtually done. No need to take any more chances. They'll line up in victory formation. When you know you have a team outclassed, the ability to play to that standard and finish with a blowout like this is really impressive.
And it's almost like playing against yourself, right? You know